Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another episode where I review vintage fountain pens. I will review an American-made piece. I received it from overseas from a friend of my channel, Friedrich Diehl. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. He was kind enough to send me some fountain pens a long time ago, and I'm sorry I did not have the time to review them all. And in fact, some of them are quite obscure for me as an European collector. Probably you know of my great vintage finds at flea markets, but usually on this eastern side of Europe I can find German fountain pens or European-made fountain pens, but not so often American or Canadian-made fountain pens. This particular model is quite a lovely model. Let me zoom on it, guys, for you to see what an interesting item we have here. First of all, it appears that we don't have a fountain pen. Well, in fact, guys, this is a wonderful combination, the so-called combo piece, in the fact that the fountain pen or the nib of the fountain pen is on one side, and on the other side, I believe we have a mechanical pencil. Right from the start, we can see we have a lever filler, so probably a piece of the early 1930s or maybe even 1940s. This lever filler was first used by the famous Schaefer American company. They were also pioneers in the use of celluloid, and I believe this beautiful ivory-colored celluloid was initially, I believe, a white color. Like you probably know, the logo of the old Mont Blanc's 1950s made out of Castell, it developed this patina over time. So probably definitely a celluloid. What is interesting, probably to save some materials, they reused this ending of the cap. So you can see the difference in the celluloid material. I would love that the old fountain pen was made from this material, which is a green marbled with gray parts in it. Let me show you the clip, which is quite nice. It has two faces. I don't know why, but it reminds me of a Parker clip of that arrow. Quite interesting. Only one metallic band here and the cap. You can see quite a transparent material. You probably can see that the light is going through, and we can see all the ink deposits here. Quite an interesting piece. What is more interesting about it, I'm not so sure what is the name of the producer. Probably you can see no mention, no engraving of the producer. Probably I will call it a no-name American fountain pen. What is stunning about it is the length of the nib. It's quite a lengthy nib. Let me zoom on it. Unfortunately, you know, we live in a world where the money are almighty, and this is why some idiot, I'm sorry to use that term, let's say a person who does not always do the right thing with the old objects. He scratched this nib, guys, just to see if it's a gold nib or not. What an perfectly idiot person. Let me tell you something, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I will get criticisms from you. Most of you say, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's okay, this is your opinion. But a nib, a gold nib made in America after the 1920s, it should have a hallmark if it's called 14 karat, 585, or let's say 18 karat 750. It should have that. Only the deep pans from 1890s and the early ones made by special nib manufacturers, they not always had that hallmark. But yes, in a way, this is a gold-plated steel nib, and the gold plating was done so good that you probably can see here, although it's scratched the material, the gold plating is really, really good. I'm sorry I lost the zoom, and I hope I will. This is what happens with this camera when I try to zoom out. It loses its focus. Yes. Now you probably can see. Yes, it's lost its focus again. Focus. So I will leave it like this, guys. You probably can see it has a thick layer of gold, a steel nib, gold plated. It's a shame when I receive this, like I received it, but it's good. I want again to thank the wonderful gentleman that sent me this fountain pen. It was free of charge, but of course, because it was delivered from outside the European Union, I had to pay some import taxes based on the value of the pack the sender declared. So, not a problem. I think I paid around 20 euros or 23 American dollars, no problem. It was so generous, the person who sent me this all the way from America, so it crossed the ocean for me, this fountain pen, and I will always treasure it in my collection. And indeed, my first combo fountain pen, they were interesting pieces. They certainly are curious pieces in the evolution of the fountain pens. Quite nice, quite practical, I see. Sometimes I'm not so sure, they came like this. Interesting, you can post it. Wonderful piece. I'm not so sure. Definitely, maybe it will need restoration. I tested by trying to see if it works like this. Maybe it had this sack. Let me see. I always don't have the nails for this kind of job. Let me see if I have something. Yes, maybe I will use this one, guys. I'm sorry, but I don't want to ruin it or do something bad. So just simply use this corkscrew to take to. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm not used to it. It appears that if I take this and I should, well, definitely we have the blade. I'm not so sure we have the inner sack. I hope you can see. So practically this is the mechanism, guys. If it's the first time you see a rubber filler, we have a sack, an inner sack, and this rod operates this one. It creates pressure, and the ink is sucked right into it. Usually you can open it through this part. Let me try to see if I can open it without applying too great pressure, and it appears, yes. Let me zoom for you guys to see what I'm doing. It appears that yes, we can open it. Well, I don't want to pressure it, but it appears I can open it through this part. So this is the procedure of opening it. Yes, I can. Definitely it lacks the sack, but you can tell how it is made. Interesting. I'm not so sure how the length of the mine. So if we have this part dedicated, sorry, let me zoom out. If we have this part dedicated to the inner sack, the mine or the lead must be really short. So we can put a mine like this, no way, because it will get in the side of the sack. So a wonderful piece, guys. Again, no name of it. Definitely an American product. I like this beautiful ebonite part. Definitely it needs a new sack. I will leave its dimensions on the screen, guys, and after that I will do a writing sample with it. But due to the fact that we don't have an ink sac, I will use just it as a deep pen. And let me see what I have here. I'm searching for an ink. Let me see what I find. Yes, I have here a Faber Castell pink ink, a quite affordable ink. I like it to do my reviews with it. It's affordable, is erasable, and I hope you can find it in your country. Based on the countries I see here, is available in the European Union, in Turkey, and AR Arab Emirates, no, AR Arab, I think, I'm not so sure. So, Great Britain. Well, definitely you can find it in the European Union, guys, and it really costs only €2 new, so quite affordable. And this, by the way, is new. I never opened it. Okay, so let me put it here. Let me take out this one out of the picture. Okay, let me assemble it again. So gently. You can use a rotation movement like this, but you push the same time. Yes. And I have all that I need. I don't usually cap my fountain pens, but it gives me a strange sensation, this combination, so I have to use it capped. It is a small fountain pen, so the cap gives me a great advantage when I try to write with it. I'm quite curious to see how it writes. Believe me, guys, I've received this little piece from, I think the 6 months have passed since I received it, but due to my surgeries and health problems, I did not have the time to write with it, not even in like a curiosity. So I will dip it, and you observe that I dip only the nib, being such a large, not a large, but it has quite a length to it. So, okay, and I hope this feeder, if I'm not mistaken, this ebonite feeder will retain enough ink. Okay, zoom should be alright before I will start to use it. Not so, okay. So, this is a no name, no name. Oh my God. So, yes, maybe it has a little bit need for ink, but it writes so like an F1. So look at it. No name. Celluloid. I'm sorry. It's right. It with celluloid. I think this is the right spelling. I'm sorry, guys. So no name celluloid combo. A combination between a fountain pen and a mechanical pencil. Quite interesting, based on the fact that we have a lever filler. Well, you can see if we don't have ink, it scratches, but this is, yes, to the fact that we don't have ink. A lever filler. So based on the filling mechanism, I will say that this is a product of the 1930s, again made in the United States of America, maybe also from the early 1940s, I'm not so sure, but hardly this decade. Okay, so I already told you that we have here a fine nib. It writes like a fine nib. You already saw that we have a steel nib. Quite an interesting nib. Very, very well gold plated. Okay, guys, now I'm curious to see if this little beauty has some, this steel nib has some flex to it. So I will apply pressure like this, gentle pressure, but unfortunately no flex for this little American writing instrument. Now I'm sorry, I will dip it again in ink, okay, because I want to show you how juicy this is. Not such a juicy one, and this is, yes, I can't say it does the signatures quite well, no. And here it scratches, scratched a little bit this piece of paper, so not so pleased with the performance of the nib. Now let's see if he has some line variance. So here no pressure, and here pressure, so no line variance, at least not a visible line variance. Okay, now let me see if I can reverse write with it. I will need a zoom out, and let me see, reverse writing, definitely no reverse writing for this one. I just left some marks on the paper, but not proper ink marks. So now let me tell you about the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So one of the reasons I don't like fine nibs is the fact that sometimes they scratch, like this one. It should not scratch, but to be fair, I use it as a deep pen. It is designed like a lever filler, So it is designed to have a generous amount of ink from the inner sac, guys. So this was my review, and I've done this, I've done the no flex, no line variation, the reverse writing. Yes, I've done all the proper writing exercises with it. What can I say, guys? A beautiful, beautiful writing instrument for from overseas. I want to thank again Friedrich Diehl for being such a generous person and send me such a lovely piece to review. I left the ink bottle, I'm sorry, but when I do those deep pen writing samples, I usually don't cap it, so as a rule, guys, please cap your ink bottles and try to play it safe. Believe me, I've done some little, let's say, accidents in the past. So, guys, this was my review of a wonderful, wonderful fountain pen. Maybe made in the USA or in Canada. I can't tell you for sure. It is probably one of those manufacturers that do their activity in the shadows and they copy other well-made and established producers. But a nice example of a combo writing instrument, and I believe a quite affordable one in its days. I did not pay a sum of money for it, so I'm not so sure about the cost of it. But I believe in America you can find it for a couple of dollars. But it doesn't matter its value. It was a gift from a viewer of my channel, and I will always treasure it. So guys, this was my review. I want to wish you to have a nice day. Have a wonderful day, guys, wherever you are. This was my review of an interesting writing instrument. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. In return, I will try to deliver new content each and every day for your pleasure. And why not? You will be part of my fountain pen collecting journey. It is nice to have you here. You can always support my activity by subscribing to my channel and maybe recommending my channel to your friends. I will see you again tomorrow at a new episode. Till then, bye bye friends, take care of yourselves and God bless you all.